Hello, we've got an extra helping now from the Cheap Lager Championship because if you remember at the beginning I said I was taking, I think I mentioned Tennent's and I said I couldn't find it anywhere, so I took it out. I think you can, it looks like if you're looking online you can get it everywhere. I've not actually looked recently, but when I was looking I couldn't find it anywhere, but apparently they got it in Asda, they got it in Tesco, Morrison's. Maybe if I look there again now I'll find it. But this one I found in B&M Bargains, so I did find some Tennent's. So I thought, well, it's too late to be part of the championship, but let's give it a review anyway and see how it might have done. And in fact, what I've also got is I've got a can of Carter's to test it against. I've not got many of the beers left that I had in the Cheap Lager Championship. Certainly the Crown and the Beer Deluxe, I had 4 cans of it and I used them all up because they got to the final. But I'll get my glasses. I'm just going to use the Budvar one for now. And we're just going to give the Tennent's just a bit of a run and down and see what we think. And I'll see how good I think it is, and I'll put it up against, you know, if it's good enough, I might put it up against things like the Crown Lager or whatever. I don't know really. I mean, to be honest, if it's any good whatsoever, then it's kind of a winner really. Not the cleanest glass, but we will. Let's put that much in. That'll do. Yeah, not a very clean glass at all. Got a bit of a head there. Getting something coming off, some kind of smell coming off it. So yeah, Tennent's Lager, I don't know much about it really. I may have had it in the past. I've certainly had Tennent's Super in the past. But Tennent's Lager itself, I don't know much about it. I know Tennent's from Scotland. I know you used to be able to get it in pubs. I don't know whether you can get it in pubs now. I'm sure back in the day you couldn't get Tennent's Lager at the supermarket, and then a while after you could get it in the supermarket. At heads, it's retaining that head quite well. Let's get a smell going. So you have to excuse my noise if you can hear that noise. My laptop's going crazy over there. Just move it out of the way. I think it's overheating a bit. I've got another video uploading on something else on a laptop, so then you might hear the fan going crazy. There you go, that's cooled it down a bit. It was up against the couch. Anyway, so smell, it's quite floral and quite, yeah, a little bit of malt in there. Doesn't smell half bad, that really. Doesn't smell half bad, but I'll see what it tastes like. I'll see what I'm getting from the taste, and then what I'll do is I'll bring the Carters up. We'll have a little bit of a taste test side by side. If it's significantly better than the Carters, then I'm going to bring another beer. So we might have Tennent's having a few sort of match up against different beers. If it's any good, just to see where it would have come had it been in the championship, because it is, you know, it's only fair to give it a go. These were 4 cans for £5.25, I think, which is out of what's allowed. But you can get 10 cans for like a tenner and stuff like that, or 10 cans for about a tenner from some places. So I'd say that's cheap enough. So anyway, let's go in for the old taste anyway. Cheers. So initially, there is a bit of something there. Oh, it's nice breadiness. Nice bit of crispness as well. Almost tastes like it's almost kind of a step above, dare I say. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean like Madry's a step above. We are talking about the exceedingly low bar that we've got in this championship. But it almost tastes like it wouldn't be out of place in the next championship. So it's possible I might include it in that instead. So initially I'm getting little bites of something, some kind of flavour in there, which I'm very surprised about. Well, not very surprised, because I don't remember Tennent's being a particularly bad lager, really, times I've had it. And maybe they haven't compromised the quality like they have with things like Carling and Carlsberg and stuff. Because although Carling and Carlsberg and stuff were pretty bad back in the day, they weren't anywhere near as bad as they are now. Whereas this It's got a nice smooth aftertaste. It's got a nice buttery, yeah, again, like biscuity aftertaste. And I'm trying to think what that is in the initial taste. There's a little bit of tangerine, some citrusy notes there. A little bit of bitterness, a little bit of dryness. Not bad, that, actually. It's got a bit of complexity to it, I think, Anna. But this is why I brought this along. Because it could just be what my taste buds are doing at the moment. So I thought I'll bring a Carter's along. I know Carter's was not a bad beer. It was one of the cause it was either this or the Galahad. I've got a Galahad in the fridge as well. I've also got an Amstel, but there's no point in using that. And I was thinking, you know, should I use this? Should I use the Galahad? I don't know really. They both got, I think, they both got to the same. No, they didn't. Did they? Or did they? Yeah, I think they both got to the same round. So, so Carter's it is, because I remember being relatively impressed with the Carter's. So we'll just do a little bit of a side-by-side test with the Carter's and just see what I'm getting from that. So the Carter's, yeah, a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more peppery on the nose. Let's go in for a taste of the Carter's. Cheers. Yes, there's not much there at all with the Carter's. Yeah, the Tennent's is... It is quite pedestrian in the taste. It's funny, after I went from the Carter's to the Tennent's, now there isn't that complexity of flavour that I was talking about. It's not there now anymore. I'd say it's a bit smoother than that. Yeah, there is a little bit of something there. There's a bit more flavour on this one than this one, but yeah, this one is way gassier. Yeah, that's not great, really, Tom. Compared, there's very little flavour there. So we're back to this one. Yeah, and there is a little bit of something there. When I first started this cheap lager championship, this is what I thought the beers would taste like. I could not believe the lack of flavour in almost all the beers in the cheap lager championship. This is a little bit better than that, I would say. So it's not a cut above. I don't know why I said that before. A bit weird. I meant to cut above in the context of being in the next championship, like Budweiser would be considered a cut above, but it's not really because it's not as good as the beer looks. But yeah. Yeah, if you search for it, there is a bit of flavour there. Up from the can. And it's not bad. There's a bit of bitterness, a little bit of an aftertaste, bit of flavour there. I would put it probably similar to the Crown Lager, or possibly the Ashfield Lager. So it's certainly a strong contender. I'd say semi-final. I'd say this would be a semi-final kind of place, possibly semi-final instead of the Ashfield. It's not as good as the Bière Deluxe. The Bière Deluxe won for a reason, and yeah, nothing would beat that Bière Deluxe. This is the Tennent's, and it's you know, it's all right. It is all right, actually. It's all right. I will drink the other cans, but suffice it to say, I think in the championship it probably would have. Don't know, semi-final. Would have got semi-final. I think probably would have been semi-final against the Cold Beer Lager, possibly, or the Crown, something like that. Maybe, or would have been against the Bière Deluxe. I think whatever it was up against in the semis, it may not have got through. I don't know. Possibly not quite as good as the Crown Lager, I don't know. I am really fishing for some flavours there, but there is a bit there. yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It's what I would expect for a cheap lager. Would I be getting it again? No, absolutely not. But I will finish the other 3 cans that I've already paid for. But so there you go, Tennent's lager. It's okay. Had it been in the championship, may have got to the semis, but depending on the draw, may have got knocked out in the quarters. That's all I could say really. I'd say it's a cut above things like certainly the Galahad I had. It's better than that. Better than Carter's. Possibly better than Excelsior and all those kind of things. I think the only things that are possibly better than it is the Crown, the cold beer lager, and the Bière Deluxe. But to be honest, I'd say this probably would come back 4th. Just a few reflections from the tournament. We have a very clear 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of that really, and it's basically 1st place is the Bière Deluxe, 2nd the Crown Lager, 3rd the Brewdog cold beer, and I think this will probably come 4th. It's better than the Ashfield, possibly, or maybe a joint 4th with the Ashfield. I have no intentions of testing this against the Ashfield, but yeah, there is a bit of a nice aftertaste there, which is keeping this afloat really, and there are some there is a bit of bitterness and stuff like that. It's very easy drinking, very smooth. I nearly finished it. It's very refreshing, and if you just want a few cold ones just to knock back in the sun, this is 500ml can. I've nearly finished it right now. That Carter's is going down the sink. I can't be bothered drinking the rest of that. I don't want to put the alcohol in my system. But this, as I speak to you now, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's alright. So yeah, I put this in 4th place, I think, with the Ashfield in 5th. So there you go, there's my top 5 cheap beers for those of you out there. But think about price point. This was over £5 for 4 cans, but you can get it about just over £1 a can. You know, your Ashfield and your Crown are significantly cheaper than that. And to be honest, your cold beer, when it's on club car price, you can get 10 cans for £7. So there you go. And as I say, if you're going to £1 a can, Bière Deluxe, it's just to me, it's a slam dunk. Anyway, there you go. Tennent's done, dusted. Until next time, have a good one.